Hi, my name is Todd Winters. I'm an artist living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and my business is the Winters Gallery, and I've been an artist for, this is my 35th year, pretty much since I graduated at the University of Texas in Austin back in 1983. Currently living in Santa Fe, and today I'm here showing at Lubbock Art Festival here for the weekend, and it's always a pleasure to be back in this area. I've been participating in the art festival for 12 or 15 years, I forget. I've been a full-time artist, fortunately, my entire life since college. I was able to focus in on it pretty much at that time. While I was at school, I was waiting tables and bartending at a really fun restaurant in Austin, and I had the advantage of showing my artwork also in the restaurant, and that experience helped launch me into my art career. And I say that because that was equally as important as all the hours I spent in the studio working while I was at the university. But the time that I was in the restaurant gave me and afforded me a time to talk and also show and sell my artwork. So that was my first venue to actually show my artwork, was the restaurant. And then that led to many other shows. Art festivals were starting, they were taking off in the mid-'80s. My high school art teacher, during her summers, did art festivals. And so that laid the foundation, or the idea in my mind, hey, I can do that too. And so I immediately started having success showing my artwork through art festivals, and that was a great venue for any young artist starting out to find an audience who may not already be in a gallery. And so it took about 10 or 12 shows a year to start creating enough income to support yourself. Earlier on, it was primarily all festivals, and then as my work matured with time, and that's what it's all about. You need time as an artist to develop your work, find your voice, and I started showing in galleries, and I found that it was good to have a balance of showing your artwork in other galleries where it's being sold, but also don't give up all your independence. And by doing art festivals like this, you get to maintain your own independence. You're meeting your own clients, selling artwork, you're getting direct feedback from the public, and that's really important for any artist, whether it's positive or negative, because you grow from that. And so I try to find the balance between showing in other galleries as well as showing in art festivals. And that's always a changing thing. You know, sometimes galleries work, sometimes they don't. Same thing with festivals. But by doing that, it takes some of the pressure off of an artist that may not have a good show at an art festival. Meanwhile, he's selling artwork and making income from other gallery situations. The most valuable thing that's happened to me as an artist is the people that I meet that buy my artwork become incredible friendships over decades. So as an artist, it's important to maintain that relationship. Nowadays it's email. It used to be getting people's addresses so you could send them a postcard to stay in touch once a year. So when I come back to Lubbock, or if I have a show in Midland or Austin, I can then send them a postcard or send them an email, which is what I do now. And that helps build a relationship over the years. So it might be 3 or 4 years later when someone's ready to buy a painting that, hey, you know, Todd's back in Austin showing, so they'll show up and hopefully make a purchase. So that's probably one of the most important things I could tell someone that's getting started is create and maintain a database of all your clients and of people that are interested in your artwork. And of course, nowadays it's through email. I paint every day, and so some people, you might look at that, it's not like a regular job, and I don't think of it as a regular job. So I'm always working in the studio. But there's so much more to being a full-time artist. You've got a lot of business aspects. You've got a website to maintain and update. You've got clients to keep up with and marketing your artwork. But during the day is pretty much when I paint, pretty much from 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning to the end of the day, 5 or 6. And it's during the evening that I spend most of my time doing the computer work, the business aspect of the work. I don't want to do too many events where I'm traveling all the time. It affects your work greatly. So I try to do 1 or 2 shows a month. I like 1 show a month. So I have 3 weeks where I'm really just painting in the studio, producing new work. And then I might have 4 or 5 days of framing, preparing the work for a show. And then you have that weekend event, okay? Some months you might have 2 events. It's really busy. You might even have 3 events. But it's real important to try to find the balance that you're comfortable with, because if you do too many shows, you can get burnt out real quickly. And you're not doing really what you're meant to be doing, which is creating. And but through a period of time, you'll start to find out what your comfort zone is, to where you can get out and show enough to make enough income, but also be in the studio where you're creating. Probably the most difficult and challenging thing that for any artist, any self-employed person, period, is that you have to find some discipline in learning and understanding that you got to keep up with receipts. You're now a self-employed person. You've got a lot of tax deductions. And so I maintain that, and then of course I have I have an accountant that I give it all to, so he can take care of the actual tax reports. But in the beginning, there's not that much you really have to worry about, because you may not be making that much. So it's not a real big issue, but it's important that you do keep up with it, and that's something that also falls on your own shoulders to do. You know, a lot of times I have friends, their spouse may pitch in and do that. They might be better wired for that, but typically most artists aren't, and that's where they're most deficient. They just want to paint, you know, they want to create, you know, they want to in that regard, and I'm no different.